Ah, dang it.
What's up, YouTube? This is EX7 Mods with a long overdue project that I'm finally getting around to completing, and hopefully I will be posting some videos of it. But finally got together and put together a decent gaming machine. It is on a Gigabyte ultra durable motherboard. It's got a i7 LGA 1150 Intel processor, and I got 2 Gigabyte WindForce 4 gigs video cards, and I got the SLI cable between the two, and got 16 gigs of Corsair RAM, and heatsink and 1000-watt power supply. I have 500 gigs for the operating system, and then 2 terabytes for storage. So also I got little Bluetooth for the PS3 controller and the hookup for the Xbox 360 controller, which the Xbox 360 controller is more preferred, but it only works with so many games, and with the PS3 controller there's an app that you can assign keys to buttons, and you can basically use that for anything. You can even use it to control your desktop if you want to, but it's good to have both options. But anyway, I will go ahead and fire it up and show it to you guys. The reason I put it outside of the case and put it all together is because I find it easier to prototype or fix any glitches that way, as opposed to putting it all inside. Let's see if I can turn it on. There we go. Turn that on, if it will. My camera lens is a little dirty. HDMI 2. I'm running Windows 7 64-bit because it shows the actual amount of RAM as opposed to 32, which I still think it utilizes it. It just doesn't show what you have and is slightly annoying. I'll make sure I got my internet. I'll go ahead and fire up one of my favorite all-time games. And I actually prefer Battlefield 3 over the new one, Battlefield 4. I don't know what's different about it, other than I know a lot of changes obviously, but it just doesn't have the same feeling as the old one. Grab my controller while I'm waiting on that. I wanted to go with a solid state drive for the operating system, but I just had so many hard drives laying around, decided it would be better to just use what I got. My custom controller that I made a while back. Yeah, this. Screw it, I think we'll be alright. Set this up to where it's gonna work. Yeah. Alright. Choose a spawn point. That's the other nice thing about the Xbox controller, is it's already synced up the buttons through the I believe programmers obviously took care of that issue, as opposed to if you're using the PS3 controller, you gotta sync everything. I mean, it's the frame rate's obviously a lot better than like the PS3. Still just, well, I don't know. That dude seriously just walked right past me. No. It's hard to play with one hand. But see if I can set it up for a quick few kills since I'm doing this. There we go. It's been too long since I've played. Whoops. I think I just almost killed my teammate. Oh my god. Yeah, I suck at this now, but it's been about a year since I've been able to play. Anyway, I digress. The video cards seem to be working pretty well. I haven't had any issues with overheating, but I'm kind of wondering what that'll do once I get it all inside of the case. Excuse me. I'm curious when I get some actual SLI supported games to see how well they work. Which I'm sure it slightly affects the processing power of most games, but I don't know, I haven't really looked into the technical aspects of it. But all in all, I got about just over $1,000 in this machine. And that was more due to getting the wrong parts and other crap. But I will show you the case it shall be going into today. It is a NZXT Nemesis that I bought a long time ago for a mod that I never ended up finishing. So it's a really cool case though, so I was gonna go ahead and use it. think it's considered a mid tower. But anyway, hopefully we'll see how far we get today, and I will kind of record the process of me putting it all together, and we'll see how bad I can mess it up. Alright, I got everything apart, and I got the motherboard pretty much ready to go in. I'll give you a closer look at it. Gigabyte Ultra GA Z9 7X SLI compatible. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't heard great things about Gigabytes on reviews, but it was cheap and it was on eBay, so didn't seem like it was too bad of a deal. And so far I don't have any complaints. But anyway, please forgive the makeshift workbench. We'll go ahead and drop that. Oh crap, I'm actually missing the piece. Alright, shaky camera work. Got that, which goes on here. And the only reason I put it on is because it looks nice. Oh crap. Actually goes on here. If I can get it to pop. Okay, put all this together. Other work area is kind of under construction, which I haven't been doing a lot of other stuff lately. I'm a shorty. I was gonna put the CPU fan on one side. That way it's got some form of control on the temperature. Okay, and there you go. So far so good. Very next thing I was going to do was go ahead and plug in the SATA cables. Kind of run them in place. Do that there. This one here. Storage on 0. Just kind of make it look semi-decent. SATA cables are ran. So I guess the very next thing would probably be the video cards. Oh my god, freaked me the fuck out. I'm kind of skeptical whether they'll even fit in here. By the way, I'm no computer expert, but if you do decide to build one, they got these little miscellaneous screw kits for PC builders on eBay. I highly recommend it. So, oh my god. Let's start with the first one. What the hell? Alright. There's one. Make sure I got the right ones in place. When I first hooked it up, even though these are the same, this is Rev version 1 and this one's Rev version 2, and I had Rev version 1 working as the main video card, and I noticed it was actually glitching pretty bad, but then I just switched them around and reinstalled the drivers, and Rev 2.0 working as the main one seems to be just fine. So I don't know if any, there was definitely no troubleshooting for these cards though. Honestly, if I did this again, I'd probably go with ADM. They're a lot more powerful and also a lot less troublesome. Holy crap, dude. I don't know if this is actually gonna fit. Yeah, I'll pop the RAM out real quick. So much computer for so little space. That's the RAM I chose. Corsair 4GB, 1600 megahertz. They seem to be doing alright. Stay RAM. Yeah, so freaking close. Again, I don't want to pry because I'm afraid I'm going to break it. Oh. Oh my god. Oh, Jesus Christ. Praise the Lord. Actually, well, it's that I got it. Kind of screwed myself over. Come on, motherfucker. Oh, one more. Alright. Hold on, this is definitely worthy of a close-up. That's how much space I have to work with on the video side. Let's go ahead and pop these back in. I did have a RAM cooling fan for what I was going to attempt to put on there, but I figure with those heat sinks and the other fan going to be right against here, there won't be actually room for this sucker. But I think the fan and the heat sinks will keep them plenty cool. It's probably not even necessary if I have my guess about it. One of those things. Thought I'd be like going all the way with this project, but and this won't be the only computer build. I'll build another one here before too long. Gonna go ahead and pop the hard drives in place. The storage hard drive is a Toshiba. Hard drive brands, I'm not big on which ones where, what not. I pretty much figure they're all the same. They're all made in China. Brand is just a name when it comes to hard drives, but who knows, I'm probably mistaken. I know some hardcore people are like, oh man, you gotta go with Seagate or Western Digital. But again, not really particular. I got so many of these things laying around, I just use what I got. Yeah, a little organization always helps, but NZXT actually has these pretty freaking cool sliders you just put on the side of your HDD. Ooh, of course I would speak too soon. And you just slide them in place. There you have it. Got me, sucker's starting to get heavy. Got my hard drives and got my cards, heatsink and RAM. Some of you may be wondering why exactly the top is gone. And also, some of you hardcore PC builders might have noticed how my fans are reversed. Instead of pushing outside, they're pushing inside. And the reason is because I am making a top deal. It goes on here, and then your fan goes on there. It'll actually be this way. And it pulls the heat up. I mean, because heat rises, and to me it makes more sense to have it go out of the top than out of the back, because from what little bit I've researched, the heat that goes out of the back just kind of stagnates and comes back and then flows in the front. And I figure if it shoots out the top, maybe it'll dissipate up higher and hopefully stay cooler. But we'll see. Let me do a little prototyping, testing. So I got everything in the top lined out, and I'm going to use this to mark the holes of the fans. Okay. This can actually somewhat come off now. And there you have it. Obviously you don't want to drill going through steel on top of this, because all your steel particles will fall down and who knows where they'll go, and I'm sure something will short. So it's better not to do that on critical components. Okay. And I think they sell this kind of setup thing you can just pop on your computer lid for like 150 some odd bucks, but I figure it'd be cheaper and easier just to do it myself. Also got this off of eBay, a little Fran shroud, kind of make it look nicer. Actually, it does look pretty good. And these are LED fans, of course, because I guts to have me them LEDs. Be a tight fit. And again, if you're looking to dress up your computer, do yourself a huge favor and go on eBay. And you can find all this stuff for way cheaper than if you did an actual retail store. But Newegg's not bad too, and they're kind of like better about getting quality stuff. And again, you know, when I think about this, it'd be nice to have something just out of the box that you can just plug in and play, but if you want to put the time and research and make sure all your parts are compatible and work well, you'll get a hell of a lot better machine if you just put it together yourself as opposed to buying it out of the box, because someone will sell you something that will just barely play something and call it a high-end machine. But again, if you got the money and not the time, just get one straight from wherever. But if you have too much time and not enough money like me, then definitely look into building one yourself. I already made my first mistakes because these wires need to go into the motherboard along with the power switch wire, and I put the video cards in too soon because they gotta run right behind them and then around and into them, so I gotta take them back out and reroute a few wires, and we'll see how far I get after that, I suppose. So, first video card. Ah, crap. And I gotta take the RAM out too. Oh ho ho ho. I do not claim to be a professional of any kind at this. Okay, I got all that wiring aspect taken back and put into place, so all the USBs and high definition audio and switches will work. The very next thing I believe is to put in the video cards, and then I need to put in the power supply, which is the first thing you do, but fortunately I haven't secured the lid yet, so I can just slide it in right through the top. So I guess I will go ahead and do that and see if everything still fits like it should. I gotta put this on the tripod. Okay. Get in there, you dastardly bitch. Okay, one video card. By the way, these are technically called NVIDIA GTX 760 overclocks. 4 gigabytes. Again, if the next computer I'm gonna go all ADM and kind of compare the two. That'll be way in the future though. But although this does not mean I am done with console gaming. I still very much love console gaming. However, I do love computer gaming too, and it's not really one preference over the other. It's more the fact that some games you can only get on PC. Alright. Make sure that is all secured. So I'm ready to slap the DVD drive in. Oh. Oh man. Let's see if I can do this without hurting nothing. Ugh. Power supply goes right up in here. And I kind of screwed up on that deal, but what the? Huh? So I can do this without dropping nothing. A crap load. Hooking up wires. So I can get a better view. The video card, hard drive, video card. That'll be like to power the fans. That will probably power the other hard drive. Alright, CPU. Oh my god, it's way up in there. So I can get a better view of this. Okay, it goes right to there if I can swing it. Oh my god. Alright. That was good. I like to kind of tuck wires out of the way for what little bit it's worth. Oh yeah, I have some temperature deals that I was wanting to install to kind of keep track of the temperature of the VGA cards, because I got a GPU one, but the video cards, I mean, you can look them up in your computer, but I like to manually check them. I'm thinking probably right here. I have them laying around anyway. Where's that other one? is gonna be slightly wiry, more wires than I would care to see, but it'll be alright. Crap. I totally screwed myself. And there, you dirty dog. That is not going to work. Just to kind of be on the safe side, I always tape up the ends so that way any open ends don't ground out on nothing, which would really suck considering how much money I got in this thing. Give it a short test run, so to speak. Make sure no wires are getting any fans or switches don't work, or who knows. It's always something. But that's the first issue. Most power, of course. What the hell? No? Ah, pulled a power switch. First order of business, I suppose. See if I can fit the manual in there real quick. Alright, now take this off here. Oh. Alright, my good camera died, but I got all the wiring done, and I was just gonna go ahead and wrap up this video. We're ready to test it out and make sure that nothing is getting into any fans or that we don't have any oddball shortings. So, grab the HDMI cable, plug it in the back, if it will. All my stuff, my keyboard, my controller, believe that one went there. Bluetooth, keyboard, mouse. Oh my god, this is so hard to do one-handed. Put in my little Bluetooth thingy. Okay. And we are ready to try it out. So, I guess it might help if I turned on the TV. Took a lot longer than I thought it would, but it actually came out pretty decent. I heard a wire. Okay. I think we're good. So, without further ado, you can actually adjust some fans off of that front LED panel. Launch normally. Yes. Oh crap. Say, surely I didn't leaves the Windows file then. Huh. Well, that's just not cool. Computer wasn't able to start. Of course, there's always something, right? Store, yes, restore. Enter. Of course, the mouse isn't registering anything. Start Windows normally. I was gonna say it. If it's reading that the hard drive is there, obviously there wouldn't be any issues. I kind of went with multicolors on this thing. Alright, sweet. Alright. There you have it. Let me button it up and then I'll give you guys one final shot of the finished product. Alright, back on my good camera, so I'll do a quick rundown. Everything seems to be working pretty good. You can't really see it, but there's like control options on that. It folds down, but it vibrates, so that's annoying. Seems to run about 120 degrees on the main card, but I noticed once I enabled the SLI, it kind of evened out between the two. I did turn this around because it's pulling heat right off the cards, which is nice. So anyways, there you have it. Thank you for watching, and I'm sure that I will have some more videos up again soon. Peace out.